get a State Street in the video today. We're gonna go straight all the way, alright? All the way up to here.
Welcome to Summer in Tokyo at Piachin's. Inspired by the color and energy of Tokyo's vibrant sushi scene, these limited time creations bring bold flavors in every bite. Discover new sushi rolls, steak tataki, and lobster and prawn fried rice inspired by one of the world's most exciting food destinations. Cruise through Tokyo, one roll at a time, aboard our sushi boat, with wave after sushi wave of unforgettable taste. Summer in Tokyo at Piachin's. Your journey to Tokyo starts here.
Slow down.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
For 58, let's check in on the roads now. Neil Fiorito.
A lot of traffic and a lot of trouble spots continue here. We'll start on the Kennedy. Actually, a crash inbound at Sayre, blocking the right lane. Traffic getting really heavy from Cumberland. An hour 12 to drive in from the airport. 36 off the junction. Up on 30 minutes to Montrose. You're 47 out to O'Hare. Now a new accident affecting I-55 in Will County. Northbound traffic heavy from the Bolingbrook Scales over to Joliet Road. An accident there blocking your center lane. Tri-State still really rough on either side. Northbound especially getting toward the Wisconsin state line near Route 173. A vehicle fire getting cleaned up in the right lane. Really heavy southbound, successfully making your way toward 8094 from about 159th because you're really heavy on both sides of 8094 to and from Northwest Indiana for the long holiday weekend. And now it looks like we have a new crash on 8094 westbound right past the state line, the left lane. That's a black Honda SUV and a black Jeep. Your next report at 4:08 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Neil, thanks so much. We still have that extreme heat warning in effect until tonight. Sunshine and clouds today. Still could get some heavy thunderstorms into tonight. High in the 90s, low tonight of 74. Right now, 94 degrees at 3:59.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM.
This is Wendy Young. A 33-year-old man is charged with murder after allegedly fatally shooting an Amazon worker in far south suburban Madison.
A Chicago man accused in a series of suburban crimes heading to jail. Plus, a dangerous and potentially deadly heat wave affecting 180 million Americans, including Chicagoans. The latest on that coming up from ABC News. Cubs off ahead of a homestand with the Cards, Sox in Cleveland.
Another record-closing high for the Dow despite a mixed day on Wall Street. That blue chip average up 595 points. The Nasdaq, though, down 207. The S&P was flat. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
94 degrees at O'Hare at 4 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. A dangerous heat dome is raising the risk for Americans across much of the country preparing to celebrate the 4th of July holiday. New York City's Central Park logged 100 degrees today, a first in 14 years. The heat index soaring to 106. ABC meteorologist Melissa Griffin has more.
And this is extreme heat risk. That's because this is a rare, long-duration heat wave with little to no relief at night. So even those overnight temperatures still quite warm, all the way from the Northeast down to Atlanta in that extreme risk. And we're not going to see that relief for several more days.
Final preparations for America's 250th celebrations are underway in Washington, D.C. That includes heightened security. ABC's Pierre Thomas on the extra measures in place.
19 miles of fencing is being installed as we speak. The other thing, for the first time, authorities are saying, perhaps ever, in order to get on the National Mall, you have to go through a security checkpoint, including a magnetometer.
In D.C., federal prosecutors announced U.S. Olympian David Hearn has been indicted in connection with alleged vandalism at the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool. Hearn is accused of destroying parts of the pool's new lining. Hearn denies doing anything violent or removing it. A pair of daredevils that scaled the Empire State Building spire yesterday continue to be a spectacle, this time on the ground, appearing in a Manhattan court today, facing multiple felony counts. They were given supervised release. ABC's Aaron Katursky says the so-called proposal may have been all for show.
We talked to Ivan Kuznetsov's father in Russia, and he said that the couple is already married, that this was all something of a stunt. So people were excited that this was an elaborate proposal, something perhaps to mimic. Know that it's already taken care of, it's already done.
ABC News is learning a couple may have spent the night inside the building the night before. You're listening to
Damn
BBC.
Russians.
Let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. Your business runs all year, and so do the gaps and the risk. That's why I'm introducing SuperSure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At SuperSure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus, a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to SuperSure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to SuperSure.com. That's SuperSure.com.
Paid for by SuperSure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
It is 4:03 Thursday, the second day of July. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding. We have 94 degrees at both airports, 86 lakefront. We've got extreme heat warning in effect until at least midnight. Could get some storms tonight into tomorrow. The AccuWeather 5-day holiday forecast coming up for you at 4:15. But first at 4, charges have been filed after a DoorDash delivery driver allegedly shot and killed an Amazon worker. The story from WBBM's Renita Young.
Police have charged Gary, Indiana resident 33-year-old Devontae D. Hodge with murder after the death of 26-year-old Dylan Perkins. Detectives say they responded to a call of shots fired just before 11 p.m. this past Sunday in far south suburban Madison. It happened in an empty parking lot outside a 24-hour Amazon fulfillment center at the intersection of Harlem and Vollmer Road. According to reports, Hodge got into an argument with Perkins, who worked for a third-party vendor at Amazon. Then Hodge fatally shot Perkins before fleeing the scene. Perkins died on the scene from multiple gunshot wounds, and the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office ruled his death a homicide. Renita Young, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Chicago man with a lengthy criminal record going to jail for crimes in the northwest suburbs.
Various criminal charges against Kenneth Maxey date back for years. We've taken a look at some of his jail records. The Northwest Herald reports Maxey, who was 30 years old, has now pleaded guilty to intent to commit theft and trying to steal 3 vehicles from a dealership. He has been sentenced to 6 years in prison. Charges against Maxey have included burglary at a Huntley gas station. He has also been accused previously of trying to steal an ATM. Some charges against Maxey have been dismissed. Terry Keschner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
City leaders are calling an appeals court ruling involving Chicago police unions and the COVID-19 vaccine a major victory.
An appellate court has ruled in the city of Chicago's favor and reversed an Illinois Labor Relations Board decision regarding former Mayor Lori Lightfoot's insistence Chicago police officers receive the COVID vaccine or pay for frequent testing. Those who did not comply could be placed on no-pay status. 2 CPD unions fought against that mandate, urged non-compliance from officers. In 2024, the Labor Board ordered the city to rescind the policy and punishment to police. But the 3-judge panel says the board, quote, abused its discretion and that city leaders were responsive to union concerns when the mandate was initially rolled out. Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A new law progressing Illinois' cannabis industry celebrated today in Chicago's Lakeview neighborhood.
Sway Cannabis Dispensary hosted the ceremonial bill signing of SB 3222, which prohibits the sale of intoxicating hemp to minors and further advances social equity within the industry. Sway co-founder Edie Moore says patients win too.
Illinois now recognizes sickle cell anemia, endometriosis, ovarian cysts, uterine fibroids, and female orgasmic disorder as qualifying conditions for medical cannabis, conditions that overwhelmingly affect women, finally recognized and worthy of relief.
Governor J.B. Pritzker says in addition to accessibility and equity, the new law will also increase efficiency.
In Illinois, we are putting long overdue common sense regulations in place.
Haley Hansen, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
As Americans prepare to celebrate the nation's 250th birthday this weekend, a nonprofit is launching a new campaign to remember those who lost their lives to gun violence. The campaign marks the 4th anniversary As we all remember well of the July 4th, 2022 Highland Park Parade shooting, which claimed 7 lives and injured dozens. Rather than focusing on legislation, HB3, one step away, is identifying the companies that do not do business with assault weapons manufacturers. And it's asking people to consider how their business choices impact human lives. Chicago Park District sharing the names of 2 baby eaglets that hatched on the far south side.
These are the first documented eaglets in the city of Chicago in 100 years, and we're so proud that they just took their first flight.
Park Superintendent Carlos Ramirez Rosa here in Big Marsh Park, near where the eaglets, now named McGizzy and Marion, hatched in an area that was once heavy industry. The eaglets were discovered by avid birders Steve and Pat Pearson from Hyde Park.
We've been watching the nest for a long time, and we were starting to get kind of doubtful that it was going to be a success.
Kind of choked up because, we really had sort of invested a lot of emotional energy.
The name McGizzy is Native American for eagle. Marion is Marion Burns, the late Chicago conservationist who has a park named in her honor. On the far south side, Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
4:08 now. Time for traffic and weather together on the 8th. Lots to talk about in the traffic world. Neil Fiorito.
Yeah, that's for sure. You have an hour plus on several of our expressways. They have been busy for a while now. And a couple of issues to tell you about. We're going to start with the Kennedy Expressway. Thankfully, inbound at Sayre, crash we've been talking about has cleared, so all lanes open there. You are still slow from Cumberland through the area. Once you get past that, brake lights take you all the way into downtown. Hour 12 from O'Hare, 36 off the Edens. Outbound now heavy from Division to Irving Park Road. You have a stalled white Volkswagen in the right center lane. Once you get past that, you're jammed up again. Bryn Mawr, there's a stalled white Dodge Ram in the right lane. You're looking at 38 to Montrose. To hop in the express lane's a good idea. You save about 3 minutes. 57 to head out to O'Hare. The other trouble spot is in Will County on I-55 northbound at Joliet Road. An accident there blocking your center lane. Pretty jammed up traffic from Weber Road. On DuSable Lakeshore Drive, you're packed in on either side, northbound from Roosevelt to Monroe, Navy Pier to Chicago Avenue. Southbound traffic pretty jammed up past Fullerton to Chicago. Jammed up traffic from Navy Pier to Belleville and Hyde Park Boulevard down to 57. On the tollways, a lot of traffic continues on the Tri-State, both sides. Northbound from Grand Avenue to the Waukegan Toll. Had a stall there, now gone. Southbound traffic from Gulf Road to Toohey, Irving to Ogden, and then from the Stevenson to Southwest Highway. Back up on 159 to 8094. Jane Adams westbound, slow from 53 to Barrington Road. On the Reagan, delays on both sides. Westbound from 355 to past 53. Eastbound traffic along I-88, heavy spots from Winfield to Route 53, and then backed up traffic from Route 83 to the southbound Tri-State ramp. The Veterans Tollway, you have traffic southbound from Army Trail Toll Plaza to past North Avenue. Traffic is heavy northbound from 63rd up to the Reagan. Because of the roadwork zone, you're really heavy on Route 53 on either side through Palatine and Rolling Meadows. The white
What dude dropped his hat?
Range at 57 in Kedzie to the Tri-State. Westbound heavy in spots from Briggs over to the Swains River Bridge. Northwest Indiana traffic is really heavy all over, especially on 894 westbound past the state line. Now a crash in the left lane. That's a black Honda SUV that mixed it up here with a black Jeep. Next report at 4:18. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Neil, lots to talk about on the roads the next few days for sure. 94 degrees at both airports right now. We do have an extreme heat warning until midnight tonight. Could come with some storms. We could break the heat wave a bit tonight and tomorrow. On Wall Street today, big day for the Dow, up nearly 600 points. It's 411.
All right, man. Go, man. See that guy up there? He blocked multiple lanes. He's crossing over. That's the problem right there. The Uber guy. Right there.
Uber or tourist, I don't know. The parking.
Yeah, he's right in front of you, blocking all the lanes. That's how they
It shouldn't be, oh my God.
He's blocking all the lanes right now. He's blocking 2 lanes.
Can we put the saw away?
That's how they every time are, man. There ain't no cars in front of that guy.
That's not sci-fi, it's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
It is 412. Human remains found in Lake Mattoon over the weekend have now been identified. State police have identified the victim as 38-year-old Dale Wayne Turner from Plainfield. Comes after boaters spotted an arm in the lake that had tattoos of a skeleton holding a green helmet back on Sunday. State police continue to investigate. Health officials in Illinois warning of a parasite illness that comes with unfortunate symptoms.
Parasite, cyclosporiasis, and affects the small intestine, causing frequent, sometimes explosive bowel movements, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Hundreds of cases have been reported in the Midwest. CDC says in Illinois, between 11 and 30 people have been affected by the parasite since the start of May. The CDC says it spreads from ingesting food or water contaminated with infected stool and is most commonly found in fresh produce. And some people may also contract it from swimming in lakes, ponds, or water parks, though it does not spread from human to human. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, you could say he's been training for it for years. Now a suburban Scholastic Bowl coach got his shot on Jeopardy this week.
Jeff Price has been coaching high school and middle school students on trivia in Barrington for more than 7 years. After several attempts to get on Jeopardy starting back in 2015, he challenged a then returning champion on the show that aired Monday.
It was not good, unfortunately, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I had a great time. I got my final Jeopardy right.
Some of his former students have competed on the show as well. For anyone interested in trying out, he suggests doing so while you're still in your 30s or 40s.
Got so much life experience. Probably got your college degree, if you went that route. But also, you haven't started, shall we say, declining.
Price observed many of the top players watch the show every day. He says that helps with understanding the pacing and popular patterns. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
As the Iran conflict evolves, WBBM News Radio tracks the twists and turns. Hour to hour, we're reporting on how this instability impacts your money, your safety, and our entire community. Listen every day. Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, and anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe you're a bit quirky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes,
It don't stop today, does it?
insurance may only cost
There's
you
a burning car in the middle of the road.
Overheat. Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800
Hey, don't open that hood, bro.
1966. Big Lou will find
I wouldn't open that hood. You leave it shut. Don't put no oxygen on it.
high blood pressure. Term providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-200-1966. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
You know.
That's just wild. You gotta watch when you're walking though, right? You want me to keep going forward or right here somewhere? What do you think?
It looked like we were going to have a break for our AC time soon, Brian Thompson.
What time we are going to eventually see the temperatures get back into at least the 80s for daytime highs and get into especially Sunday and Monday. It's still very hot.
What I'm going to do is go right here, and you're going to be very careful and go right there. Be safe. Got everything?
Now we're starting to see an offshore wind develop.
See you later.
Push the front back well into the 80s. So it is going to be pretty hot.
Pretty crowded downtown. What's up, Mark?
Really around the area now. There's a few cells southwest of Kankakee. We'll keep an eye on.
It's pretty crowded downtown.
Tonight. It's a warm and sticky night with a shower of thunderstorm around. Still hot and humid tomorrow. A spotty morning thunderstorm, and then there could be a heavy gusty
This is some radio call. See what we're missing.
Hail and flooding downpours. But we'll have some sun.
SubXNews on the spot reporting. It is 4:16 p.m. July 2nd, 2026. There was a mass shooting today. A 4-person mass shooting, 2 dead down on 76th Street. Around 76th and Halstead yesterday. We were around that area like yesterday. We didn't get past 55th. That's where we were at. A little south of where we were at, there was a mass shooting earlier this morning. So it's not ending. It's not ending. I think it's accelerating. So be safe, be careful. They're saying it doesn't have an effect on regular people, but it does. It does. I mean, there's a lot of innocent people that get harmed when all these crimes happen. Businesses get hurt. So there you go. You see how it's bottlenecked, right? And then we're pretty much opened up over here, right? That's the Google does that, right? I want to say hello to the girls over there. I used to go to that McDonald's there every day, but I gotta park and go in. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I'll show you guys that good McDonald's over there. We'll keep moving. How about that? Where are we going to end up today? What do you guys think? Why don't we do this? Why don't we put on the radio call, see what's going on, and we'll go from there, right? Maybe we'll just do a short show, maybe 5, 6 o'clock, something like that. And then we'll call it holiday weekend, right? So that's what we're probably going. What's up, Mark? I hope everybody's going to have a good 4th of July. Relax a little bit. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your families. Enjoy your community. Enjoy your neighborhood. That's what we need to be doing, right? We can't let the negativity win. You got to be careful. Hey, look, it's just like driving a car. That's why you have doors, you have seat belts, you have brakes, steering wheels. You got all these fancy things now, cameras and all this. All it is safety. It doesn't make a car any less dangerous. But guess what? You're a little safer. That's all it is. I mean, people don't understand what safety means. Safety means just taking care of what's going on. That doesn't mean don't do stuff. I mean, yeah, naturally you don't go out at 3:30 or 4 in the morning. In the old days, you didn't go out because all the drunk drivers are out at that time. Now it looks like that's when the shooters are out, right? So it's the same difference. It's not that big of a thing, you know. People say it's doom scrolling or whatever it is. No, man, it's not. If you ignore things that are might cause you harm, then that's technically, as a parent, that's negligence, or it can be called, it's either negligence or endangerment. You can be charged with a crime if you do that as a parent. If you leave your kid like in your car, or if you leave your kid at home, even leaving your kid at home, that's negligence, right? So, you know, people have these silly ways of commenting on certain things in the world, and we got it. I don't know if you guys know what the playpen is here, right? That's that right there. That's where all the boats come, right? See that there? They got expensive boats. They got shootings and stabbings out there too. Moving out there. I posted that unfortunate accident last week where the lady died, and somebody commented, "Oh yeah, you'd be surprised at how much crime is there." But again, that's not CPD crime. That doesn't get logged as CPD crime. That's what they do now. They separate the crimes, right? In the old days, everything was logged as a CPD crime. And again, here, this is what you got to think about. Why would a government agency want to not report the crime? That's one of its functions, right? One of the functions of government is to tell us what's going on. That's why we work, we raise our children, we do our stuff, go to school, we're retired, we do whatever. We don't follow. I mean, I follow some crime, but I can't follow all the crime. When I do that, I don't sleep some nights. But the point I'm trying to make is that's the government's job, right? Birth certificates, death certificates, marriage certificates, licenses, business licenses, real estate titles. That's all a function of government. That's what we pay taxes for. So you got to start to wonder, why would a government not tell us what crime is going on? Why would the city of Chicago give all the felony and carjacking arrests to the state police, and it doesn't register then on Chicago crime stats? If that's what's happening, everybody knows that, right? The state police do the felony arrests in Chicago. They do stuff like that. And people say, well, they do the highways. I get all these cop guys or whatever you call them. The internet police tell me that I'm right or wrong or whatever, and they say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I say, well, I've seen state police not on the highway doing stuff on the west side. I've seen them I've seen the Cook County sheriffs doing stuff in the middle of Chicago, and people say, "Oh, they're Cook County sheriff, they can do that." I said, "Yeah, there's like other places that could use their help, like maybe Fort Heights, Dalton, maybe East Chicago, right? All these places, or the North Shore, all these places that have less money and less resources. Why aren't they taking care of those places, right? And I hate to say this, if they don't have crime, then why don't we refund the money to the town and let them do some investment or something like that? You know what I mean? Think about that. Think about this. Think about the deception and the deceptive mind of Brandon Johnson. And I harp on it, and I'm warning people that he's going to win the election. And if there isn't a candidate out there, and I don't see candidates out there, they're not hammering them. They're not hammering. If you're a candidate, you need to be hammering them every single day. You know how Donald Trump was one? He was out there every single day. That dude was a TV reality star. He was a somewhat successful business. Not really. He was half and half. He was a somewhat successful businessman. But you know how he won the presidency? He was in Obama's face all the time. You can call it right or wrong, but he's the president. That's how he won. He figured out you got to be in his face, especially in politics. So think about it. Who's in Brandon Johnson's face? No one. Have you seen anyone making statements on crime today? Today is the anniversary, right? July 2nd, 2025. The Mellow Bucks mass shooting, the biggest mass shooting in Chicago's history. In Chicago's history, the biggest mass shooting. Not the mass killing, it's a mass shooting. The biggest one. There's not one been like that, even in Al Capone's time. 18 people in one place. Machine gun, 4 dead. Has anyone talked about that today? There's no arrests. No one's been arrested. Heck, we've had another mass shooting on 95th Street. 95th and what was that? Princeton down there? That's related to the Mellow Bucks. The Mellow Bucks people shot that one up. And that one had 14. So you had 14 and 18. So you had 32 people shot. 32 people shot in 2 shootings within a year. And no one's arrested. That's bizarre, isn't it? And people say, oh, it's the state police, the county police. You know, the University of Chicago does reports. They pull that off of CPD. There was a CTA, a famous CTA beating. Someone was beating somebody on 57th and Lake Park. It's on video. It's on our Facebook. It's on our Twitter. It's everywhere. They were beating. There was a beating on the bus. And the police are like, there's a beating over there on the bus. The guy's talking. The Chicago police officer talking. There's a beating on the bus. What should I do? I don't know. What should I do? The dispatcher says, yeah, they called it in. And then the guy says, oh, the University of Chicago's here. They'll handle it. So guess what? That's off the books. That's a violent crime on a CTA bus, which should be an aggravated offense, which is a felony. It doesn't even get recorded. It doesn't get recorded at all. Zero. No, there's no log of it anywhere. There might be an event number, maybe. If the guy goes on the bus, it might be an event number. It might not. It might not. So think about that. This is the point I'm trying to say here, right? We pay the government through our taxes to just keep records, right? And that's most of what the government should do, and then keep us safe. Food safety, building safety, and do some crime fighting, hopefully, right? Firefighter safety, right? Those kind of things. Shovel some snow if you have a big town like we do. Those kind of things, right? Boat safety if you have a lot of boats in the lake and whatever you do. But you kind of get that's what the government should be doing, right? But this government, our government here in Chicago, don't even want to do that stuff, right? They don't. I got tons of those calls on the dispatch. Oh, I told you about the ones last week about the homeless camps, the tents. Oh, you can't do nothing. There's recordings of the dispatcher saying, there's nothing we can do. We won't do nothing. I called it at once. I said, hey, there's a camp here. It's dangerous. I think it was on the north side. It was 2-3 years ago. Oh, we can't do nothing about it. I said, no, they're like, this is bad. You need to get rid of them. Oh, blah, blah. We can't do nothing. So when you have the government that says two things, we're not going to take the right statistics. We're going to manipulate the statistics because, the state police, that's their job. Oh, the Cook County, that's their job. Well, we don't know nothing about University of Chicago or UIC. We don't know about those. Remember the Forest Park quadruple killing? Forest Park. Poor Forest Park. Never has killings out there. Never. Brandon Johnson pushed off a quadruple murder on them. That never showed up on CBD statistics, even though it happened on a CTA train. Quadruple murder. Remember that? The assassination? You guys forgot that. That was Brandon Johnson. That was Brandon. He pushed it off on that poor suburb out there. Said that was in a suburb. I wasn't in a suburb. The train is the jurisdiction of the train owner, and the train owner is Chicago, so that means it happened on Chicago property. Yet they said it happened in a suburb. So the thing that we had, the reason I'm mentioning all of this before the news comes on, is why would a government do that? Why would a government lie? First lie, like the CTA CEO lied yesterday, saying crime was down when Monday one of her employees was murdered while working. He was on the clock. Kevin was on the clock. Her employee was murdered on the clock. And she said crime was down. How many CTA employees are murdered? I don't think that many. And here's that Monday, and she's Wednesday saying crime is down. That's bizarre. So, that's two questions. Why aren't they wanting to keep the statistics, right, that tell us what's going on? Because anyway, statistics are just statistics, right? It doesn't mean anything. It's just a number, right? It's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. It doesn't mean anything, right? I have 6 headaches or 4 headaches. You still got headaches. I got no headaches. Well, now I'm happy. You kind of get it. That's how it works. It has nothing to do with anything. It's not good or bad. If you know you have something, then you figure it out and you fix it. The second part of the question is about the statistics. Why do they lie about it? Why would a government lie even though they manipulate the statistics? That's the bigger question. Maybe we'll talk about the little one. Let's listen to 4:30 News.
It's about a 10-mile backup. If you're a passenger vehicle, you might want to get down to Ridge. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report, 438 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Sunny, still hot, 94 degrees at 429.
Amazon Business. With smart business buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding. Here are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. Federal prosecutors charge hundreds as part of a larger crackdown on crime across Chicagoland. We'll have details. Murder charges filed against the man police say shot and killed an Amazon warehouse worker in the far south suburbs.
This is Nancy Hardy. The family of a comatose woman says she has died months after her arrest by Evanston police.
Plus, the 2 daredevils who scaled the Empire State Building for an engagement proposal make their first court appearance. Sports, Sox in Cleveland to face the Guardians. Cubs off ahead of a big series with the Cardinals.
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. A weak June jobs report actually sending the Dow higher, up 595 points to a new all-time high. But the Nasdaq down 207. The S&P was flat.
94 degrees at 431. Federal prosecutors charge hundreds of people as part of a crackdown on crime in the Chicago area over the last 2 months. Our top story from WBBM's Terry Keshner.
New dawn of
crime fighting is underway in Chicago.
Andrew S. Boutros, U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, says 179 individuals have been charged across 140 newly filed cases as part of Operation New Dawn, which involved 11 federal agencies. Prosecutors also say 305 fugitives were apprehended and 24 children, many of whom were kidnapped, were located and safely returned home.
And that's not even including all the guns, all the drugs, and all the other instruments of crimes that our law enforcement partners seized as part of the operation. And again, we did all of this in 60 days.
Terry Keshner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Murder charges filed against a 33-year-old food delivery driver accused of shooting and killing an Amazon worker earlier this week. Prosecutors say Devonta Hodge got into an argument with a third-party vendor at an Amazon plant in south suburban Madison on Sunday. That's when police say Hodge shot and killed 26-year-old Dylan Perkins before he drove off. We're waiting to learn more from Hodge's initial court appearance this morning.
On the ground. See that?
The family of a woman who fell into a coma after her chaotic arrest in Evanston says she's died.
Relatives of Felicia Williams say the 42-year-old died after being in a coma for months following her arrest in January. Their attorney, Victor Henderson, announced the news, saying while Felicia's life has ended, her family's pursuit of accountability has not. They have filed a federal lawsuit accusing Evanston police officers of excessive force and failing to intervene when she began showing signs of medical distress. Channel 7 reports the officers involved were put on leave per procedure, and an internal investigation found the use of force was justified. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
4:33, two daredevils who climbed to the top of the Empire State Building are now facing a slew of charges in New York court. The duo climbed to the very top of the building's spire, unfurled a banner, and then after 45 minutes climbed down to the platform and got engaged. ABC's Aaron Katursky has more on that arrest.
Specially trained officers, including one who just graduated this week from the emergency service school, intercepted the couple on their descent.
You can't be up here.
And took them into custody.
Yeah, I'm okay.
An eyewitness said she saw the couple sneak through a maintenance hatch on the 102nd floor.
They've now faced burglary, reckless endangerment, criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, and a few other charges. A bystander who was biking near the reflecting pool in Washington, D.C. is now facing a felony charge after federal prosecutors say he peeled away some of the blue coating of the pool. Olympian David Hearn says at no point did he remove, rip, tear, or damage any part of the reflecting pool's blue coating. But today, U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro claimed otherwise.
This was a deliberate act to damage the reflecting pool at the National Mall that members of the National Park Service actually have worked hard to restore and have witnessed.
President Trump's $16 million taxpayer-funded renovations has faced a number of setbacks, including green algae and the deterioration of the blue coating on the bottom of the pool. A man who investigators said wrote a bogus ransom note to the children of Nancy Guthrie amid their search for her has pled guilty in court in Arizona.
Derek Kalela lives in California but told a federal judge in Arizona on Thursday he is guilty of writing a fake ransom demand to Nancy Guthrie's family. Pleading guilty to 2 counts could get him 10 years in federal prison when he's sentenced in September. According to the FBI, in early February, when the search for Nancy Guthrie was intense, Kalela allegedly texted Guthrie's family members and called once asking for Bitcoin. The FBI saying this week, while it has determined some ransom demands in the Guthrie case were fake, the legitimacy of others is still unknown. Alex Stone, ABC News.
And tension brewing between a branch of the Catholic Church and the faith's leadership.
The Vatican has responded aggressively to a traditionalist society that consecrated bishops without the Pope's consent. On Thursday, the Society of St. Pius X was declared by the Vatican to be in schism. Its bishops were excommunicated and its faithful were warned that they too could incur excommunication. Schism is a willful rupture of unity in the Catholic Church. The Vatican responded a day after the society staged a massive consecration ceremony at its seminary in Icon in Switzerland, attended by some 15,500 people and their children. It declared the consecrations a schismatic act and declared that the society itself had created a schism or intentional rupture within the Catholic Church. I'm Karen Shemath.
4:36 coming up. We're going to check in on your weather, your roads, and your gas prices next.
Pella Windows and Doors. Our window and door experts help you find the right windows and doors for your home. Installed and backed by the Pella Promise. Right now, buy one, get one 50% off. Visit Pella.com/radio today. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Well, Lorenzo, the pitch looked good.
Yeah, so green.
USA Keeper was decent enough.
Didn't have much to do.
99 minutes.
Not a single goal. Well, Bet365 sure came through, though. I bet $10 and got $150 in bonus bets. Just for signing up.
At least someone scored.
Bet365. Winning is everything.
So, think about this. You just heard the news. You had a federal prosecutor on saying, we just did the most arrests that we did in 60 days. But I thought that crime was down. And think about this. And this is why I'm saying this on the recording, because, you know, I do my article the next day. My recordings of today get to be the articles of tomorrow. So whatever happens today, we write about tomorrow. Whatever, right? It's all in one. We try to give updates. So think about how corrupt our society has become. Even the feds are corrupted. When your president makes $2 billion while he's president in 1 year, yeah, that's kind of corruption there. You're not supposed to be making money while you're the president. You're supposed to do the president's job, not to be doing that stuff. Oh, well, he's blah, blah, blah. Man, nah. You make no money while you're the president. If you want to do money, then you go do money. You don't be the president. You don't do both. And how do you do both? That's Brandon Johnson. He used to do 2 jobs. But let's go back to corruption, right? So we've been told for 3 years, we've been told, crime is down, crime is down, crime is down. And then today, you just heard a few minutes ago, a federal prosecutor says we just did the most cases ever. Which I don't think that's a lot of cases, 100-something cases in 2 months. That's not even 1 case a day. That's nothing. Think about it, right? 2 months or a month, I don't know what he said. What is that? A case or 2 a day? That's 0, man. That's no work, man. That's laziness, man. That's bum, man. You're a bum. He's got 100 cases in 2 months. That's what? 1 or 2 a day. That's it. That ain't nothing, man. That's 0. You know, in the old days, if you went to Cook County Court, whether it's traffic or the criminal system, they'd have 200-300 or 1,000 cases a day. This guy's talking about 3 cases a day. What a bum. What a bum punk, man. Talking about I'm busy. You're a bum, man. You're a bum. They probably have more cases in a day here in Cook County than that in 3 months. And he's talking about he did something, right? There you go. There's a Trump Tower. It's got some flags over there. See that there? Show you this. That's Trump Tower over there. See that there? See those flags over there? That's Trump Tower, huh? That's Trump Tower, see? That's the one thing I wanted to talk about. And I was going to sneak that on everybody here, right? It's the 250th birthday of our country, right? There you go. There's the flags, right? Got the flags here on Michigan Avenue. They're always here. So that's, yeah, the feds are talking, they didn't. But think about this. Think about this. What's up, Juan? How's Texas doing? Now you go down this street. That's Michigan Avenue Bridge. They always have flags. You don't see any decorations. Any decorations? Do you see any decorations? None. We have a failed city government, a failure, right? It's what they call is a culture of mediocrity. When you have a bum as your leader, then everybody else is a bum. That don't mean everybody's no good, but they follow. He don't do his job. He don't care. So why should we, right? He tells us, let's put a sticker, make Chicago hardworking and safe again, right? They put the stickers on all the trucks. I got a FOIA request on that. How much did it cost? They denied me. They said, it's none of my business how much those stickers cost. He has stickers with Brandon Johnson. He puts them on every truck now, and work trucks. It's never been done before. A mayor has never put his name on any trucks in Chicago. He put the name of the city, the name of the department. Once in a while on a big project, they'll put, yeah, Mayor Daley was part of it, whatever, or Rahm, or Lightfoot, or whoever, right? Harold Washington. But this guy, Brandon Johnson, puts a sticker on every truck that says, yeah, Mayor Brandon Johnson. So imagine this. So when we have the next mayor, you got to take all those stickers off, right? Kind of get it? That's why you don't put your name on trucks or on departments. That's not your name. That's the department. It's not you. So imagine he put all these stickers with his name on all these trucks. It's illegal. You can't use city property to promote your name. Well, he's the mayor. No, he's not. He's the mayor in 4 years. That's it, he is. So if he gets not to be mayor, what do? You take those stickers off and say what? So he's what? Using vehicles for what? To promote himself. While they lie about crime, right? While they say everything is safe. The question always becomes, why would they do that? Why do those things happen, right? It's like this lady that was from the CTA. I posted on Twitter. I can't post this on Facebook. They'd ban me. You know, there was somebody else that used to say that things were safe. There's a whole group, a big group. They were called the Nazis. They killed a lot of people. Most of the people they killed were Jews, but they killed political prisoners. They killed the Roma. They killed the Gypsies. They killed political prisoners. They killed a lot of people, the Nazis. And the people would say, where am I going? And they would say, well, you're going to take a shower. And I'm like, shower? I don't need no shower. I want to lay down. I want to eat. No, you got to go take a shower. And you know what they would say? Is it safe? What did the Nazis say? Absolutely, it's safe. Keep going. Keep going in the shower. It's safe. Who keeps telling us it's safe? This is the year anniversary of the worst mass shooting in Chicago's history. The Mellow Bucks mass shooting is the worst mass shooting in Chicago's history. 1 year. But why do you think NASCAR didn't come back? They didn't want to be associated with mass shootings. That happened during NASCAR weekend. That was NASCAR. What do you think? They want to come back and be associated with a mass shooting? A year later, almost to the day, you have a 14-person mass shooting in retaliation to it. Down on 95th in Princeton. And yesterday morning you have a machine gun killing shooting. What are these guys doing? See them there? What are them doing? What do you think those two are doing there, huh? What do you think those two are doing there? You think they're what? What do you think they're doing? I don't know. You think they're doing anything constructive? Do you think they're doing something for tourism here? Or what do you think they're doing, right? So the Nazis used to tell the Jews, hey man, look, you gotta go take a shower over there. And the Jews, some of them were smart, and they said, yeah, I don't know, man, that don't look too safe over there. And what's the thing the Nazis would say? It's safe. It's safe. And we know how that turned out. Who else says it's safe? Who else says it's safe? The CTA person yesterday said she said it's safe when her employee was murdered Monday on the job. That's a Nazi. She's a Nazi. She's a Nazi. Because she said it's safe while her own employee was murdered. And she said it right on TV. Imagine someone saying something is safe when you just got murdered. Huh? What? And the same day you had a machine gun shooting on Grand and Chicago at a drug spot. Dope spot. It's a dope spot. First comments were, oh, that's my family member. Don't be saying that. That's a dope spot. That was a killing. That was a targeted killing. I know that spot. I've watched it, right? First Nazi says, oh, you can't say those things. It's bad. You're making me sad. That's my family. I'm not disrespecting the guy. I honor that guy, man. He shouldn't have been killed. He shouldn't have been shot. He was shot in the back. Everybody knows the shooting scene, right? He was shot in the back while he was running. They killed him in the back. They didn't shoot him in the front. They shot him in the back. Yeah, why don't you read the reports? So you got people saying you can't say certain things about a criminal event, a machine gun killing of a gang drug warfare at 3 a.m. in front of a hotel. That's the first Nazi you get. That's the first level of Nazis, the brown shirts, right? Those were the criminals. They call them the lumpens. They're the criminal class, right? Because Hitler worked with them, right? Who's the easiest people to recruit as criminals? You give them $5-10, they don't care. I like the stickers on the trucks. Those workers don't care. Those are lumpens. Those guys, the city workers who put the stickers on the city trucks, they're lumpen. They don't care. They put stickers on the trucks and they know they shouldn't. Just like the drug dealers, just like anybody who comes on pages and lies. Then the second set of lies is what? The second set of lies is, oh, it's safe. That's a safe neighborhood there. No, it isn't. Go look at the crime stats from just that area. Killings, shootings, drugs, beatings, stabbings, pepper spray. I've been at that spot a ton of times. Hypodermic needles, drug spots. That's a crime-ridden area right over there. And sure enough, a day or so later, when the regular people get on and say, I don't think that shower is too safe there, man. I think that's pretty unhuman there. Then the regular people start saying, yes, I don't go to Grand and Chicago. That's a bad jewels there. Yes, that's a dangerous area. Why is the first people who comment that say it's safe and it's okay? Why would someone say that? Why would you say that in public? I'm not negative. I don't say nothing bad about criminals. I say they should be locked up. If you're a criminal, you're a criminal, right? You need to get whatever it is, right? I'm in the middle of a court case. I need to beat it. If I don't beat it, I might go to jail. That's how life is. Should I have done other things? I don't know. We can talk about that when I go to my court case, right? But you kind of get how that works. It is what it is. Whether it's good or bad, it has nothing to do with it. But when something happens like a shooting, a machine gun shooting, or a mass shooting, the worst mass shooting in Chicago's history, July 2nd, 2025, the Mellow Bucks shooting during NASCAR weekend, the worst mass shooting in Chicago's history, the year anniversary of it, and no one talks about it. And a year later, almost to the date, there's another mass shooting that's related to it with 14 people shot on 95th and Princeton. No one talks about that. And you got people that get on TV and they say it's safe, that Chicago's safe. Then they fired the superintendent. They fired that guy. Schnelling was fired. 2 guys were fired earlier in the year. Gately. Look it up. The IG was fired. Look it up. IG fired. Gately was fired. Everybody that's law and order gets fired by this guy. Look at the pattern with him. He's going to now hire a bunch of people, and good or bad, he's going to say, look, I got a year in office or a few months in, he's got 6 months in office now, right? It's May, right? He's got 10 more months in office. Because in 10 months, if I lose, you're going to lose your job. So this is what I suggest. Do whatever you need to do to fix up whatever you need to do. That's why the lady went on the CTA and she said it's safe. She actually lied on TV while her employee was murdered. Imagine what kind of a human is that. That's why I say she's a Nazi. Imagine a human, not even talking about the respect to the family, but what kind of an individual is willing to go on TV and say her system is safe when 2 days before that, her employee was murdered at work. He was on the clock. He wasn't off the clock. He was on the clock. He went to his car to get something. He was killed. So that means the company didn't protect him or his workers. Same thing with the Amazon guy, what you just heard today. They didn't protect that guy. How did that guy run around? I don't know what he did, man. He shoots somebody and then runs around and escapes. How does a shooter get onto the property, right? How does all that work out like that, right? How does all that happen? How does a shooter or someone that's a maniac, killer, get to be a DoorDash driver, whatever he was, shoot somebody and then get away, right? I don't know how you understand that's why we have to talk about these things. It's not good or bad. People say, John, you're bad. You talk too much. You do this. You do that. I just had an argument with one of my sons today about some stuff. It got a little heated. It was politics. You got to watch politics in the family. So I hope I made it up with him. And if you're listening, Alex, I'm sincere about what I said earlier today. We shouldn't bring that stuff. We can have debates, but we shouldn't let debates separate us. And that's what had happened today. political debate separated my family, and that was my fault. I let that happen, and it should never happen. Our family should never be separated by these political brainwashing narratives. It's a brainwashing narrative. When you have a Nazi that gets on the TV, that lady's a Nazi. That CTA lady, she's a Nazi. She's a white supremacist Nazi who hates blacks. You can tell by the way she talks and by the way she looks. You can tell them. You just look in their faces and you can tell someone. You can, come on. So look, I'm an Eastern European guy. I'm a Slovak. I come from Czechoslovakia. I'm Eastern European. I ain't Anglo, right? I'm not Anglo. To all my black brothers and sisters, my Hispanic brothers and sisters, and sometimes you're wrong. Or we can be wrong. But you telling me you can't tell if somebody's a Nazi or a white supremacist by looking at them? You can tell by their tattoos. Look at Bill Ayers. That dude's a white supremacist. He's got all white supremacist tattoos all over him. Nora Flanagan. She pretends to be a black savior, and she's got all white supremacist tattoos all over her. That lady from the CTA, look at her face. You tell me she ain't a white supremacist? Look at her face. Look how she looks. We all can tell the truth to each other. With SubXNews, we're cool with that. My black brothers and sisters, my Hispanic brothers and sisters, Asian brothers and sisters, you can look at a person and say, yeah, and you might be wrong, and might just look a certain way and say certain things. But pretty much, it's like I had once, I don't know who told me this. And I said, you know what? I had a bad feeling about that. And then my brain said, it's okay. It's okay. And you know what? I don't know who I was talking to at that time. And you know what the guy said? I don't know if it was a guy or a woman gave me the advice. Because if you think it feels that way in your stomach, you're probably right. Because that's an animalistic sense. That's what I've talked about before. Darwinism, right? We come from animals. All of us are animals. We have what? Flight or fight. If you think you can handle it, you fight. If you don't, you say, I'm out of here. It's rare that you say, well, I'm going to stay here and take the punishment. Nah, sometimes we do that when we're in marriages, right? When you know your partner is not going to murder you, right? You say, all right, I'm going to let my wife yell at me a little bit. Or maybe my kid will yell at me a little bit because it's my family, and I think we need to get that out of our systems. But in any other situation, what do? You fight or flight. You either fight or you get out of there. You don't hang around with bad situations. So the reason I'm saying this is you think about these people, what they tell you. These people will go on TV and they'll say, it's safe. Don't worry about that machine gun killing. That was only gangs. It's only gangs. Oh, by the way, that guy who said it was a gang drug war, he's a jerk. Oh yeah, 3 posts later, the mainstream news says, yeah, it was a gang-related drug killing, and the guy that got killed, he was a gang member from the Cabrini Green row houses. God rest his soul. God rest his soul. He shouldn't have died. I don't think he should have died. I don't think anybody should die. Not that kind of death. Not any death. Everyone should die a natural death. That's it. You can't just die by the sword and live by the sword. Yeah, I guess. But that doesn't mean it's justified. You kind of get what I'm trying to say? And then an hour or two later, then I see all these other reports saying, oh yeah, it was gang related. Yeah, he shot at people. He's been shot at. So why did the first people who commented on my post say I was wrong? Why would you do that? See, that's what I don't get. Is that the brain disease we talked about last week? Why would you say something? How would you justify any way a black man in his 30s, early 30s, I think it was 29 or 30, God rest his soul. Why would you say anything else besides either condolences or outrage that a man was machine gunned down to death by 5 men walking on a hotel plaza, shooting at will at somebody? While the cops were videotaping, and they got pod cameras. They were videotaping, and they were tracking what license plates were. Why would you say anything else besides outrage, if not condolences? Why would you say anything else? Maybe you're shocked. Maybe you're brainwashed. Maybe you're a government agent. Maybe you don't know what you're saying. Well, if you don't know what you're saying, you shouldn't be on the internet then. Then why are we letting people who don't know what they're saying on the internet? Well, it's a free country. Not the internet. The internet's not a free country. It's not. It's a private space. The internet's whoever runs that, and then the www, World Wide Web, is technically a military operation, right? They just talked about this yesterday on Bloomberg. These high-speed, they're building these high-speed now, super AI communications. The United States has a couple, China's trying to get a couple, they're straight military, it's all military. Everybody knows that. The internet was invented by the military, right? People say, not really. No, it was. Military and universities, it was to talk, high-level talks in between. It was a messaging system that was outside of the phone system, because the phone system could be tapped. It could be tapped by either side, the Russians or us, right? So what did they do? They invented a new system to talk, right? Which was through the internet, right? Through numbers, through digitization, right? Ones and zeros, binary, everybody knows that stuff. That's the basic computer language, ones and zeros. So then it's hard to decrypt, right? When you have all these billions of numbers, ones and zeros going across in line, that's how the internet works, ones and zeros. It's a binary system. Then what happens? You can't decipher it. Now with AI, they're gonna decrypt it, right? That's what they're trying to do, but whatever. I'm digressing now, right? The point I'm trying to make here is this. Why do people lie about what's happening right in front of us? It might be shock, it might be denial, I don't know what it is. But it's strange to me, right? It's strange. I get it when you're a parent or you're a guardian or you're a grandma or your kids. My kids don't tell me everything. There's secrets they have. I get that. But that has nothing to do with a conversation. That has nothing to do with a murder. That has nothing to do with safety, right? I'll say this story and then I'll get to the news at 5 o'clock. I don't know what my wife did or I did one day when we came home. I think my kids were in middle school at the time, so they could stay at home by themselves, right? I got 4 kids, by the way. I don't know what they were. I think maybe 10, 11... something like that, right? I have 4 kids, right? Going from about 12 to 8, right? That's my kids' ages. And I came home, I don't know what we did, and we put our stuff down, me and my wife. I go to their bedroom, and I look up, and the glass for the lights busted, right? I said, what happened? And they said, nothing. I said, no, what happened? And all the kids said, no, nothing happened. What do you mean? I said, well, that light's busted up there, so something must have happened. I forget what they tell me. This is a long, long time ago, right? I said, I don't know, something fell, something, whatever. They said, whatever. So I don't know. I got the piece. I went to a flea market or I went to the local hardware store. It's just that square thing that goes on the light, right? I don't know. I had them do it. I don't know how I fixed it. It's just a glass piece, right? That goes above the bulbs, right? That covers the bulbs. It's a simple one, right? I don't know what happened years later, or I don't know when. I said, why did you guys tell me that you didn't know what happened when you guys are the ones that did that? And they're like, what do you mean? I said, that light thing that you guys busted. What happened? They said, oh, we were playing with the ball and we bounced the ball and broke the lamp. And I said, look, what do we tell you? Don't play with balls in the house. Why? Because if that glass would have fell on your face, you would have been hurt, right? And they said, you're right, Dad. And I said, you don't need to lie to me. Would I have been mad? Yeah, sure, I would have yelled at you a little bit and been mad and blah, 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 right? But you don't need to lie to me because it's already done. I already see it. I see it. There's no denying what happened. And then said, yeah, you're right. And this is in the news.
It is not just humans that are at risk for heat-related issues. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke can also impact dogs and cats. Veterinarian Adam Krishman says that starts with excessive panting. He says owners should avoid the heat in the middle of the day when it's at its worst.
I would be surprised in this type of weather that we're experiencing right now. I would say no. Do not walk them either early in the morning if you can, or later in the evening, again, to that asphalt and with that heavy heat that's out there.
The normal temperature for dogs and cats is 101 and 102.5 degrees. American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals recommends plenty of water and never leave a pet inside a parked car. The couple who scaled the spire of the Empire State Building yesterday and put their proposal on blast to the world appeared before a New York judge today. They've been charged with felony reckless endangerment, burglary, and more. The duo's attorney says he believes some charges are not warranted. ABC's Melissa Don has more.
Sources tell ABC News the couple entered the Empire State Building Tuesday night with tickets and then secretly spent the night. According to court documents, the responding officer at the Empire State Building says he went up to the 104th floor and saw a lock on the security door had been broken, and then saw live video footage of the couple on the spire.
Family members in Russia telling ABC News the couple may already have been married. Fewer jobs were added last month. According to the Labor Department, there were 57,000 jobs created in June, half of what analysts projected. You're listening to ABC News.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in...
I don't want to say no, but that was kind of cute. I know they did illegal stuff. They're criminals. They broke a lock and did all that. I get that. They're crooks or whatever. They're criminals. But to me, as an UberX kind of a guy, and it's called an urban exploring. Urbex, they call us, right? I do that stuff, right? I've done a lot of that stuff even when I was younger. I can't even say a lot of the stuff. I gotta check the statute of limitations on some of the things I've done in the past. But yeah, I'm a Urbex kind of a guy, so. And then the proposal, and it's even fake. It's still kind of cute, man. It's kind of cute. I like it. That's all I gotta say. That to me, that's a cool couple. They're criminals. They're criminals. Yeah, I get it. They're criminals, but they're kind of a cool couple.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
5:03 Thursday, the second day of July. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Lisa Fielding, ahead of the 4th of July holiday. We've got a busy day on the roads and the weather. We're going to have all that coming up for you every 10 minutes. 94 degrees now at 5:03. A 33-year-old man has been charged with murder after investigators say he shot and killed an Amazon worker in the far suburban city of Madison. Here's WBBM's Renita Young.
Police say it happened in an empty parking lot outside a 24-hour Amazon fulfillment center at the intersection of Harlem and Vollmer Road. Detectives responded to a call of shots fired just before 11 p.m. on June 28th. According to reports, DoorDash delivery driver 33-year-old Devontae D. Hodge got into an argument with 26-year-old Dylan Perkins, who worked for a third-party vendor at Amazon. Police say that turned into a scuffle. Then Hodge fatally shot Perkins before fleeing the scene. Perkins died from multiple gunshot wounds on the scene. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office ruled his death a homicide. Renita Young, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
As Chicago heads into a holiday weekend, federal prosecutors say the city has been made safer thanks to a 2-month crackdown on crime across the region. Andrew Boutros is U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois. He spoke at the Dirksen Federal Building today.
At the heart of Operation New Dawn is my firm belief that to combat violence, federal law enforcement must move at the speed of violence. It is the dawn of a new federal law enforcement era when it comes to combating violent crime in the Northern District of Illinois.
Prosecutors say the 60-day Operation New Dawn involved 11 federal agencies and led to 179 individuals charged across 140 newly filed cases. 305 fugitives were apprehended in the operation. 24 children, many of whom were kidnapped, were located and safely returned home. An appeals court siding with the city of Chicago in a COVID-related dispute with police officers.
In 2021, then Mayor Lori Lightfoot announced a policy that required Chicago police officers to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Those who refused needed to pay for their own weekly testing or risk placement on no-pay status. Two police unions voiced opposition to the mandate, with leaders urging officers to not comply. The issue went to bargaining before an administrative law judge and the Illinois Labor Relations Board sided with the unions and called for the policy to be rescinded. Now, a 3-judge appellate court says the board, quote, abused its discretion and has sided with the city. Leaders call it a major victory, though the unions are expected to appeal.
Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The Chicago Park District celebrating the first in a century hatching of eaglets in Big Marsh Park on the far south side. Carlos Ramirez Rosa is the Park District General Superintendent.
As we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, these eaglets are here to remind us that there is no greater strength than when people come together to steward a better future. Their presence is a sign that our conservation efforts are working.
The names of the two eaglets are McGizzy, a Native American word for eagles, and Marion for the late Chicago conservationist Marion Burns. There's a new warning from state health officials after several cases of a parasitic illness in Illinois.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says between 11 and 30 people in Illinois have been hit by the parasite since the start of May, placing the state among those with the highest number of reported cases nationwide. The parasite, cyclosporiasis, infects the small intestine, causing frequent, sometimes explosive bowel movements, according to the CDC. It's spread by ingesting something contaminated with feces. Cases typically rise during the spring and summer months. The CDC says the illness is not life-threatening. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Death investigation underway after a body was pulled from the Fox River. The Kane County Sheriff's Office says a boater spotted the body yesterday in the river near St. Charles. The coroner's office has identified the victim as 41-year-old Amanda Flick and found the preliminary cause of death to be drowning. Pending a toxicology report, the Kane County Sheriff's Office continues to look into how she got into the water. Well, gas prices are higher than ever, and every penny counts these days. Our reporters, traffic team, and listeners are tracking the lowest gas prices across the Chicago area. Listen for the lowest gas prices around 37 minutes past every hour, only on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Let's go get some White
By
Castle.
the way, now speaking of gas and driving, time for traffic. Here's Neil Fiorito.
Go get some White Castles.
Beware of the buckle, a pavement buckle. We have one in Villa Park, and that's why you jammed up
when
on
I was
the
down there. I
eastbound
should
side of
have
North
got
Avenue
it.
from
I don't know why I
Addison Road
came
to
back.
Ardmore. Avoid it by using St. Charles Road. Expressways and your travel times to Eden's about 30 minutes in from
Right. So they kept saying crime is down, and all of a sudden the Fed guy says, "Oh, we're crime fighting." And I told you that's not enough. That's almost zero, right? 100 cases in 2-3 months. That's nothing, man. That's zero. You should have 100 cases a day, man.
By 90 into downtown.
Bullshit,
man. Headed out to Manheim, 32. 57 to drive out towards Schaumburg, and
And then everybody knows they just indicted, and I have to get you guys that report over the weekend. They indicted 12 or 8 Venezuelans all over the United States. But 2 of them here in Chicago reported on this case. I think a couple of viewers told me about it, and then we reported it. It was in Inglewood. A Venezuelan was kidnapped and executed in a bathtub. They beat him and shot him with a bag over his head. That wasn't the other one where Sabu was killed. This is a different case. It's a young kid, and then somebody from Venezuela called the mom that lived here and says, "Yeah, your kid's dead in that abandoned building over there." Well, they just federally indicted a bunch of these 10 Tren de Agua guys, and 2 of them are from Chicago, and it sounds like they had extensive arrests, so I'm gonna have to write it up. And it's again, see, this is where we keep going into. They keep lying about the crime, and now we're coming out 2-3 years later that, and look, that doesn't mean every Venezuelan is a bad person. I know Venezuelans. I got a couple of them in my phone. I got some of these guys that were in the alley. They know me. I know a couple of the killers. I think one guy that I've seen on TV, he was arrested for killing somebody. I used to interview him in the alley there in the early days. Remember the alley over there by the end of Chicago? Yeah. But yeah, we're going to go down and get some hamburgers here for the guys. All right, I just realized. I don't know, it's hot. I got some water too, so we'll give out some hamburgers and a few, I don't know, man. I don't know if you can eat them. It's this hot, though. Whatever. We're going to go do what we're going to do.
Back up. From the Metro Traffic
Right, so we're over on the new. So let's listen to the radio calls. So the point I'm trying to make here is this: what? So now all of this stuff is coming out. It's like when you hide everything in your closet or hide everything in your garage or yeah, I don't need to work on that today or whatever. And then all of a sudden you need to use your closet or your garage, or you need to do something like, damn, I should have did that 6 months ago, or when I was working on that a month ago, I should have did it the right way. Kind of get where I'm going with this? So now all the truth is coming out, what we've experienced the last few years, and now it's even coming out about the COVID, right? That it was all something that was bad, right? And now even the appellate court is saying, oh yeah, they could take away your rights. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think you can order somebody to do something. Now you can fire them. You can tell them they're not following the rules, but then you got to find out if the rules was actually a justified rule. Kind of in my case, when I got fired from the union, they said they had a rule that I wasn't supposed to turn in people to the ARDC, and I did. And then they asked me, did you do it? I said, I don't know, I don't remember. They said that I lied to them, which I kind of did. But hey, that's the way life goes, right? I didn't want to tell them what I did because I didn't think they had the right to know about that. I violated the rule. I lost my job. Now I'm doing this, right? Same thing with this whatever we're going to deal with the video thing, right? We're going to see what the judge says. And this is what I always say about judges in courts. Don't expect justice in the courtroom. It can go any way. Don't expect it, right? I'm dealing with a case now that I'm involved in for a few years, and I have a bad feeling something bad's going to happen with it. It has to do with Brandon Johnson. So I have a case with the city right now, and I have a strong suspicion it's being manipulated by the city because of all the people that have been fired lately. So we're going to listen to some radio calls. We're going to stop me talking. I'm going to go pick up some White Castles. We'll give out some White Castles here to some guys. See if they want them. I don't know if that's what they want, but we'll see how it goes.
7353.
Well, let's put on some radio calls. See what we're missing, right? And if you see anything on the radio calls, send it to me, right? But yeah, there's two big cases out of the
10153, 10153.
The Tren de Aguas, and I'm going to write that up. CWB already has it right up, but I'm going to write it up a nice, simple way like I like doing it. I like CWB, but sometimes he meanders a little bit, but he's okay. CWB's good. I think he's an ex-defender, ex-prosecutor. He's got an in that gets the paperwork fast. So it is what it is. It's good. So there's two cases with the feds. I'm going to look up all these cases that they just did from today's announcement and yesterday or 2 days ago's announcements on the Tren de Aguas. And then I got a few other things I'm going to look into. But right now I'm going to go get some White Castles.
10157.
And we're going to listen to a little bit of radio calls here. How about that? We'll go back. It's 5 o'clock, so we'll go back to about 4:11. So we'll go back about an hour and we'll listen, right? And see what's going on, all right? Thanks for listening. I appreciate you. So we're going to listen to some radio calls. If you see anything on the radio calls or a crime, shoot it to me, and then I'll double check it, and then we'll go out and see it, all right? There's a few people always shoot me the crimes, right?
6412
Let's get to some crime chasing, right?
6412 Adam.
Sam, can you hold me at 641 East 89th Place? Follow up under JK 298535.
09378.
Oh, I might get a...
Units 11 and CY, we're going to push with a John at Independence. Harrison Independence. Courtney's calling about a male wearing a green hat. Caller from that radio cooperative. We're getting details to follow. Zone 10, District 11.
It's going to be 10175.
I think I might get chicken today. How about that? Get a pan of chicken and some bags. While we do that. I promised those guys to get them some chicken. That's what I'm gonna do, I think, today. We're gonna change it up a little bit today.
733 John.
I just gotta get a bunch of bags, right? I think I got some in the back seat.
09406. 09406. Let me look. Hold on. I didn't hear anything on the simulcast, but it doesn't mean...
Ready?
Yeah, there was. 2131 South China Place at the U.S. Bank. The bank was robbed by a masked male that yelled at the clerk for the money. No weapon was displayed. Males wearing all black.
Bank robbery.
Face covered by a mask, and his hoodie was pulled closed. He fled on foot, last seen headed towards Archer.
Bank robbery. You just heard it. Just happened. Bank robbery.
Hey, we're here with 9th District. We're looking around. Nothing. We don't see anything yet.
Alright, somewhere. I'll hold you down.
Bank robbery.
Number is 10111. 10111.
apprehended that call from off.
1708 hours.
What I'll do is I'll order it by phone and then I go pick it up.
For the units in 14, there's no simulcast. You're getting a panic alarm at Ross, 2627 North Elston. 2627 North Elston. Say, general hold up alarm and nothing further. 14th District, Zone 3.
Male pulled him out of the car. There's an open line. We got details.
10208
Carjacking.
09471 09471. 8383. Units at 8 and on the citywide, we got a 383 Adam. Units at 8 and on the citywide, we got a 10-1 at 43rd and Cicero, opposite of the highway on Canal Bank. We got an auto accident involving a deputy chief from BNS. Marked squad vehicle. No further.
83 Adam.
You heard that. 10-1, 43rd and Cicero. Mark B.
10223 10223.
We got an auto accident involving a deputy chief from BNS. Mark squad.
10-1 squad. Mark squad. BNFS railroad cop in an accident.
43 and Cicero. Opposite of the highway.
73 Lincoln.
The auto accident involving the chief deputy.
83 Lincoln.
Sorry, deputy chief.
Chicago on the red line.
The railroad. 25 and on the city.
10 battery in progress. 30 1030.
As the buyer shot about 15 John. I should have back
7383 Henry.
From the location. So this before hitting Belmont. We got nothing further. 26 on 12 station.
Is there number for Roosevelt red line, please?
80 Central.
34 point northbound. Can you get us that number?
10237 10237.
Again, 09533. 09533.
I want to get to that bank robbery, right?
3331 going from Clinton to the medical district. Take event number 0953.
Yeah, boy.
2353.
7387, boy.
Yes, and I don't say why we're going to battery in progress. 63 can't see up at the Walgreens. So the female Hispanic and 3 female black subjects are fighting in the back of Walgreens. The female black subject stated that she called her son with the gun to come up there. Nothing further. Zone 6 is clear.
We're at Sherman stop. Was there a robbery in zone 13 that we should know about?
Let me
Ready.
anything on the simulcast, but it is ready.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. 2131 South China Place at the U.S. Bank. The bank was robbed by a masked 10256 10256. No weapon was displayed. Males wearing all black, face covered by a mask, and his hoodie was pulled closed.
There you go, robbery. Listen to this. We just had a robbery.
89.
Listen up.
Red number for CPA Blue White check at USC Pulses.
383 George.
83 George.
We're at Sherman stop. Was there a robbery in zone 13 that we should know about?
Let me look. Hold on. I didn't hear anything on the simulcast, but that doesn't mean anything. Yes, there was. 2131 South China Place at the U.S. Bank. The bank was robbed by a masked male that yelled at the clerk for the money. No weapon was displayed. Males wearing all black, face covered by a mask. Alright, we're getting a better description of that offender from the bank robbery over at 2131 South Street Place. Was he given L Black 5759, 100.
We're here with 9th District. We're looking around. We don't see anything yet.
Black Dagger, your G, and Black 10111. 10111.
7383 George, copy.
70 and Sam, go ahead.
7383 George.
83 George.
Robbery in zone 13, what we should know about?
Let me look. Hold on. I didn't hear anything on the simulcast, but that doesn't mean anything. Yes, there was. 2131 South China Place at the U.S. Bank. The bank was robbed by a masked male that yelled at the clerk for the money. No weapon was displayed. Males wearing all black, face covered by a mask, and his hoodie was pulled closed. He fled on foot, last seen headed towards Archer.
Hey, we're here with 9th District. We're looking around. We don't see anything yet.
Alright, somewhere. I'll hold you down. If you need that event number, it's 10111. 10111. 70 and Sam, go ahead.
When did they call from home?
1708 hours.
For the units in 14, there's no simulcast. You're getting a panic alarm at Ross, 2627 North Elston. 2627 North Elston. Say, general hold up alarm and nothing further. 14th District.
Another hold up. There you go, at the Ross, right?
83 Frank.
83 Frank.
79 Buck.
Let's call this place up, get some chicken, right?
10208. 10208.
8383 Adam.
Maybe it's easier for me to just go in and get it, right? What do you think?
Red line 93, please.
I just go in and get it, right?
10223. 10223.
I just go in and get it.
83 Lincoln.
Chicago on the red line.
We're just gonna go in and get it, right?
It's a bar.
How's it going? Where do I order?
Right here, this side.
On that side?
What did you get? What did you get?
10 wings, 6 wings?
Yes, 6 wings.
Why don't you give me 25 wings and 10 wings? Yes, please. And can you do me a favor? Give me one extra box or something, because I'm going to give away some of these wings, all right? $69.75. Is it cheaper to get the 50?
Yes. The 50 wings is going to be $90, $94.
90? It says 64 there.
You're looking at the party wings. You want the party wings?
What do you mean?
You want the half wings or whole wings?
Oh, what you talking? It says wing.
The one which says the one at the bottom is the whole wings.
Yeah, give me the whole wings. I don't want.
Yeah.
It still says 64. Oh.
That's the candle.
You got the 25 wings.
Oh, there you go. Now I see that. There we go, right? All right, so why don't you just give me the 25 piece and a 10 piece. Yeah, and give me the whole wings there.
Yes.
And give me an extra.
People eat legs and thighs because they're cheaper and it's better.
Which one?
Legs and thighs.
Yeah.
Remember how cheaper than, you can get the wings, but you'll probably be able to get another.
Here, hold on. Let me turn this.
Legs and thighs for the same.
So what should I get?
10 wings.
I'm giving away a bunch of food now. I'm going back to the city.
Okay, so you shouldn't even, you giving it away?
Yeah.
You should get all legs and thighs. You giving it to people, homeless people?
Yeah.
Hey, how much your 100 legs and thighs?
100 piece legs and thighs?
Hold on, watch this.
147.
How much your 50 legs and thighs? The wings too expensive.
85.27.
The legs and thighs?
Yes.
Why your legs more expensive than your wings?
Sorry, what?
Your legs are more expensive than your wings.
No, he didn't get the 50 piece. He got the 25 and 10. That is why.
So that's 35 pieces I'm getting.
So you're asking for 50. So
you're going to get one piece or two pieces.
So why don't you give me that one then? I think that's because then I'm gonna have to separate, and then give me an extra box. The whole wings, right? Give me a 10 piece
and
25 piece, right?
Yes.
All right, that's what we got, right? And give me an extra box, all right? Thank you. Thank you, man. Where do I do it? Over here?
Yes.
All right, sounds like a plan. I hope I got money.
You got to go in the stash.
If they steal my identity, they're gonna get a bill. They don't steal my shit no more. Say, you want my account number? They're like, no. See, I learned it. I learned all this life of working all these fancy jobs, making all this money.
Thank you.
And now when I'm broke, nobody likes to talk to me. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I went from 6 figures to 0 figures. And guess what? My credit's a lot better now.
It's a lot better now.
Yeah, it's better now. Alrighty. There we go. We're in Sharks here, right? Oh.
Well, you want me to tap, sweetheart?
Yes, you can tap it.
Okay.
What about how much? About 10 minutes maybe for me? 15, or I'm gonna be in my truck. I'm right here, right? I'll be back in 15 minutes. Let's go listen to some radio. We'll catch up on the radio calls while the order is getting ready. Then I gotta get, oh man, we got a police helicopter here. There's Sharks, that's where we're at. All right, let me get my bags here ready, right? We'll give out some chickens. See, I got a bunch of these White Castle bags there. See that there? There you go. That's why I got those, right? These are all clean. There ain't nothing wrong with them. There you go, right? All right. So we'll do that. Got a banana there. I should probably eat it before it gets mushed, right? Oh, man, I lost one of those bags there. Oh, man, the bags are all falling on my hand. There we go. So we're setting it up here, right? No! I gotta save this receipt. We're gonna grab that banana. We got a few waters over there. Should have got me a box of water. Next time. Where's a good thing for water? I know I gotta get it from the suburbs. Because in Chicago they got a water tax or something. Oh, excuse me, sorry. They got a water tax in Chicago. So we're gonna listen to some radio calls, right? Keep the whatever going on here. We're at Sharks, so we're gonna listen to some radio calls. 15 minutes, so we'll go in at 45. We're getting some chicken. We promised everybody chicken, right? That's where we're gonna go get. Alright, and this is some radio calls, right? I'm gonna do some posts. Oh, where's my other phone at now? Alright, there we go. Aldi, yeah, I should go get some water. And then I can give out food with the water. And there's something. Hey, look, I'm not broke. as well, right?
87 Adam.
5:30. Oh, that's some local news, right? Local news. Local news, right? Where's the local news at? And then I'll catch up on the crime calls, right?
10386.
Johnson talked about the search to find his replacement.
34 years, I believe, of service and dedication. His courage and bravery and his strength is a remarkable testament to who we are as a city.
Police veteran Fred Waller will again serve as acting superintendent, supported by the newly appointed first deputy superintendent.
There's a talented flow of leaders.
But the mayor stressed
it's not the responsibility of one individual. There's no such thing as a real-life superhuman being. It just isn't.
Haley Hansen, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
5 men from Chicago and Georgia accused in a federal indictment with operating a ring that trafficked firearms to gang members.
A man named Anthony Edward, street named Chapo, is the alleged leader of the ring. Federal prosecutors in Georgia say he has ties to 2 Chicago street gangs and an address in Athens. He's alleged to have bought guns in Georgia and directed others to do the same, dozens of firearms, and then distributed them to gang members in Chicago. Some were alleged to have been used in crimes here, including a murder. 20 guns seized by police were tied to Edmond, according to the indictment. Some were converted to be fully automatic machine guns. Prosecutors say at the time the firearms were purchased, forms were falsified, swearing that the buyers were getting the guns for themselves. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Chicago man pleads guilty to several crimes in the northwest suburbs.
30-year-old Kenneth Maxey was initially accused of multiple burglaries in Huntley and Woodstock, including stealing an ATM. The Northwest Herald reports Maxey has now pleaded guilty to intent to commit theft and trying to steal 3 vehicles from a dealership. He's been sentenced to 6 years in prison. The charges include burglary at a Huntley gas station. WBBM has seen Maxey's jail records showing numerous charges against him, some of which have been dismissed. Terry Keschner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A new law with Illinois' cannabis industry celebrated in Chicago's Lakeview neighborhood today. Part of the bill restricts the sale of intoxicating hemp products to the same age as recreational marijuana, which is 21 years old. Governor Pritzker said it also builds upon existing frameworks.
Maintaining leadership means that you can never stand still, though. And so as industries evolve, our laws must also. We are strengthening protections for children. We're expanding access for patients. We're advancing social equity even further. And we're making our regulatory system operate more efficiently and better for everyone.
Beginning in November of this year, those hemp products will require child-proof packaging and will not have misleading packaging that could appeal to children. Around the nation, the couple that climbed the Empire State Building yesterday have been released from custody. The incident seemingly started off as a protest, but turned into what looked like a marriage proposal. ABC's Aaron Katersky is following.
The criminal complaint does make mention about how dangerous this was, both for themselves and to others, the least of which is because that broadcast antenna emits a significant amount of radio frequency, which can be very sickening to one's health, and it had to be shut off before the police could climb up.
The pair face multiple charges, including reckless endangerment, burglary, and criminal mischief. Well, former Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has been hospitalized for more than 2 weeks, but his office has not provided any additional information about his status. Now, dispatch audio shows emergency responders went to McConnell's home to attend to an unconscious person who appeared to be in cardiac arrest.
It's not even clear at this point if he's still even in the hospital. So just